Hey everyone, this is Michelle Wong, the founder of the Nonlinear Path and author of Set Your Own Sail, Fire Your Alarm Clock, and Awaken to What's Possible. And I'm really excited today to introduce you to a dear friend of mine and business partner. I'm really excited to interview her and introduce you to her. This new guest that I have, she has a master's in drama therapy. And I love her title. She is a divine feminine catalyst, and she welcomes women to get out of the box, to stop playing small, and to begin living large. Sarah Grady, welcome. So excited to have you here and to talk to you today.
Thank you so much, sister. It's such a pleasure to be with you. I'm just so grateful for you in my life.
Yay, yeah. And we were talking beforehand, just so many different things and just being chill about this interview and not having to be perfect. I really love that. Because yeah, we're real women, just being ourselves and doing our work in the world. So thanks for that reminder as I adjust everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. We have some great questions, or I have some questions that I came up with, and I ideally want to keep this interview not super long. And so one of the things I would love to hear more about is how do you work with women to get out of the box and to start living large?
Thank you for asking that question. It's a big one. And I feel like there are infinite ways to do that. But since I've been a dancer, 20 plus years now, I feel like the deepest gateway into breaking free from the cages that keep us small as women is through the body. And dance is one of the most powerful ways in which I do that with clients. But really, it can be as simple as breath, visualizing parts of the body. I use some of my drama therapy tools to literally interview parts of the body and act them out and play with them. Because the thing is, in our culture today, we've become so disconnected from the body. We really value this mental energy and this hyper productivity as opposed to really slowing down and acting as receptive beings and embodied beings and trusting our embodied wisdom. And so when that part of ourselves has been cut off, we really contract not just our bodies, but our whole beings and our voices and our dreams and our visions. And so the first thing I do with women is to help get them back into their bodies.
Wow, that is super powerful. I love that you said that because like I'm totally like in my head a lot. Yeah, and and so it's really great to hear that again, to get inside the body because like it's really true. Like our head is like this, and then the rest is the body.
Yeah, right? Hello, there's this whole other piece going on. And it's like, it's literally the body that births the world, especially the feminine body, right? Like we literally birth babies, and also like the deep creativity that lies inside of us. Yes, we can get ideas mentally, but none of that becomes manifest without the use of our bodies, our creative manifestation powers, to physically create something or to embody that creativity. And so it's just this constant, I think, choice to remind ourselves to come back to that place, even if society says, no, it's just up here.
Yeah, and I hear the fire or the siren, so they're agreeing as well.
I love when spirit conjures like that. It's like, yes. I had a teacher once in a yoga class, after I sneezed, she said, "Oh, thank you so much for that blessing." And I was like, what? She said, there are many indigenous cultures around the world that believe that when someone sneezes, it's an affirmation or a blessing to whatever was just spoken of. And so sirens, construction workers, all of that.
Amazing. So tell me about your journey. How do you live your nonlinear path? You're in California right now. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, no, it is. I appreciate you asking that question. Yeah, I live in Oakland, California, and have lived around the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 5 years. And my journey started in North Carolina. So I grew up in suburban North Carolina, and I always felt internally that that was not home. It was not enough. There was something that my soul felt called to experience on a larger level. And so that really bounced me around from Boston to Los Angeles to Chile and Patagonia at the bottom of the world, and then all the way back to the Bay Area. And so there was nothing linear about that path. I really took kind of this circle around the globe to find what felt like my place, my physical place. But also amongst that journey, you know, my career changed many times over. I started out as a theater actress and got my bachelor's degree in that, and then worked in television and taught English. And it was really the synthesis of all those things that brought me into healing work. Because I noticed that through the arts that I had always been so drawn to, initially with dance and then with theater, that there was deep healing happening on a cellular level inside of me, and then everyone else that either was a participant in that or was receiving that art, you know, for entertainment value. And so then I got my master's in drama therapy. And, you know, I guess in that training program, the end goal was always to get my psychotherapy license, right? It's what you're supposed to do. You get your master's, you get your license, and you practice, you hang your shingle, and you've made it. Mm-hmm. Except for spirit was really calling me to expand the container even beyond that, and to know that although that is very valuable work, there was something else that wanted to be incorporated in that work. And so I began my Koya teacher training and my Infinity Healer training several years back, and am now on a complete nonlinear path. And I've left the psychotherapy licensure model to create my own body of work. And this, although my parents don't necessarily understand it yet, and even society may not understand it fully yet, my body and being understands this to be my truth. And so every day I wake up and I just commit myself to whatever spirit's calling me to do in service to other women on the planet.
Yeah, no, that's super powerful. And one of the like, as you were sharing, saying how like it might not make sense to other people, but it makes sense to you. And for you to stay committed to your path and to stay in your body, like that takes so much courage, because there's a lot of times, you know, when we take a different path, it's like, what are other people going to think or say, you know? And so it's super powerful that you're just connected and be like, no, this feels right for me. Yeah. And so like one of the questions I had was like, how do you not deal with that, but like there's fears that pop up, obviously. Like how do you manage that? Like how do you face those fears or maybe doubts?
Yeah, no, it's such a great question, because just because I've taken this path doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's hunky-dory and everything is smooth sailing and I feel great about it every day. You know, there's always fear. You know, I heal one level of it and then maybe another layer of it comes up for healing. And so the way in which I just choose to actively confront that fear is twofold. One is a committed spiritual practice every day. You know, I make my coffee in the morning and I go to my altar and I open myself up for guidance and messages and healing from spirit, from the goddess, from all the different unseen helpers and ancestors of the land I live on that I work with. And I feel just like having this daily practice with breath and with movement also to keep myself in my body has been incredibly grounding. And I know that I can come back to it, not just in the morning with my coffee, but anytime I need to, really. But the second piece, and I think is equally as potent, if not more, is community. I think one thing growing up in North Carolina was that I never really felt like I was a part of a community, or that there were other people in my world that thought and felt and saw and sensed the world on the level that I did. And I'm so blessed that in the Bay Area, I have met an incredible, potent community of sisters that are my tribe. they really get it. And we hold each other in these practices. We hold each other in the fear and in the healing without judgment and with deep unconditional love. And I think that's been the most recorrective experience for me, the most healing experience for me. And it's certainly what keeps me committed and remembering, like, I'm not crazy. I can keep doing this nonlinear work. I can keep myself open to what Spirit's calling me to do. And I'm not alone.
Amazing. I love what you shared about the community piece, because I feel like for a lot of people, that's what tends to be missing, having that support.
Well, that's cultural, right? Because I feel like in the United States, we're a very individualistic society. And we say, I have to create, I have to produce, I have to manifest, I have to be unique and the shining star, right? But in many other cultures around the world, it's the opposite. You know, the we is valued over the I. And so it has really been a learning curve for me to learn to ask for support from community, to lean on community, to believe in the power of community, and to also be generous in my gifting of energy towards the community myself. So it's a shift. It's a whole paradigm shift.
It totally is. Yeah. And I can also see like I feel like that's why it's also important to align with the right community, because it's scary to be like, oh, this is actually not what I want to do, you know, and to branch out that's, you know, this whole tribal thing, which is a different topic. But yeah, cool. So what lights you up about your work and your life?
Everything. I just feel like as soon as you said that, I remembered that moment that I left my community mental health job about a year ago. And I just felt like that bird that had been freed from a cage. And everything that I've done for the last year has just been this choice towards freedom. And not just freedom for me, but freedom for all women. You know, my work is really focused on helping women break free from the paradigms that are keeping them small, so that they can really step into their fullest, juiciest, sexiest, just most potent and powerful life. Because we're here to live it, right? Here to live our lives, not the lives that other people have dictated for us. And so the thing that lights me up is when I'm working with a client and there's just that aha moment, or this deep recognition of her own power, of her worth, of her value in the world, and that I'm merely the vessel and the messenger that gets to help assist her in that process. That's the thing that lights me up the most, is watching other women thrive and blossom and fall more and more and more in love with themselves and the world around them. And then, you know, the other thing that came to mind when you said that was spirit. When I think about everything that I do, it's not for the money in the bank, although resources are always lovely to be supported, but it's spirit. And what I mean by that is this interconnectedness of all of us. And so much of that is unseen, but I wake up and do what I do to create ways in which it can be seen. You know, how we interact with each other in community, or the miracles that happen every day. Like, I live for that. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that you talked about interconnectedness, and just the work that you do is so powerful. Yay. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. And so if people want to get to learn more about your work, where can they go?
Yeah, my website is sarahbryanne.org, and that is spelled Sarah with an H, and BRYANNE.org. Or you can email me at sarahbryanne1, just the number 1, @gmail.com.
Cool, yeah, and I'll put the information as well underneath the comment section, yeah, so people will know. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time and for sharing what you do. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, sister. I love you, and just so support the work that you do in the world as well. And it's a joy to be in community together.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.